Hi guys, good day, and today we're gonna see just how nice the DJI Avata 2 functions as a car enthusiast drone, no? So we don't really normally do drone reviews, and that's why Charles is here. Say hi, Charles.
Hi. So I'm Charles. I'm their videographer. I do mainly videos for the team. So
Usually see Charles is behind the camera, but for today, since him and I were the ones who use this the most, we'll show you how you can use drones like this to do shots like this. So, if there's the first thing you notice about the shots is it's very dynamic. And the reason it's dynamic is because it's actually an FPV drone. So DJI advertises this as one of the easiest to use FPV drones in the market. But the only way we can test that is if we ask Charles what he thinks, because it's the first time he's ever tried an FPV drone. So Charles, how was it?
it's actually easier to use than the normal drones, like our DJI Mini.
So I think you should explain to people what exactly you get in the box and how does it work.
Okay, so the first thing you get is the actual drone. So this is the FPV drone. And then you get goggles. So it's FPV for a reason.
First reason.
Yeah. So kung ano yung nakikita ng camera, ng lens, ng FPV drone natin, you get to see it here.
Yes.
Sa goggles.
And you also get this. This is your remote control. So unlike other drones na meron kang controller and everything, this one, you just have a trigger to accelerate and then you can point it around. Basically, it looks weird.
Yeah.
And if you're prone to motion sickness, maybe sometimes you just have to try before you buy, you know? But
para siyang mouse na wherever you point the trigger, you will see a trigger here. And then wherever you point it, doon pupunta yung drone.
Yeah. So it makes it shockingly easy to fly.
It's like really flying. And when you're using it, using these goggles, parang nandun talaga sa scene. That's why it's so fun to use then.
It's actually very fun to use. So in terms of pros, it's 4K 60. It's actually easy to use. Even this shot here with the, secret muna. Well, we haven't released the video yet, but you can see the acceleration of the two cars and the drone flying between them. The nice thing about this, normally kasi diba, like in our Mini 4 and your other drones, when you crash, that's it. I guess DJI understands now because it's an FPV drone, it has to be beginner friendly. And the easiest way to be beginner friendly is you protect everything. So medyo solid siya. Wala siyang damage actually when we flew it. Well, I'm not sure what happened. It didn't hit the car. Like, parang nag-flip siya. But yeah, it's a pretty good drone. As you can see, it's really more about the experience of flying.
Very, very good drone. Pero siguro pag-usapan din natin yung cons.
Okay, cons. You can go first because I think I know what you're gonna say.
Battery life.
Yes. So DJI says this one can do 23 minutes on a flight, and we think, yeah, you can.
Around that, if you're using normal mode, because this also has a sport mode.
And it's sport mode, it flies
very fast.
But
the battery drains also very fast.
So if I were you, if you're gonna buy this for, like in our case, we use it for work, you buy the Fly More package, which comes with 3 of these. They're removable, they're chargeable. I guess medyo hassle lang sa atin because we don't have the physical charger for the 3. So we had to rely on the USB-C port here to charge, which, you know, if you have battery banks, you're out there off-road, it's not the most convenient thing.
And medyo matagal i-charge eh.
Medyo matagal siya i-charge. So that's the problem. So the battery life's a problem. But if you have 3 extra batteries and you can charge the other 2, like we use in our other drone, it shouldn't be that bad. The other con, at least in our case, no. You kind of mentioned that it's FPV. So FPV is first person. I found it when you're trying to do typical drone things.
Yes.
Slower moving panning shots.
More cinematic na parang establishing lang ng view ganun.
This isn't very good for that.
Yes.
Because if you use this to go strafe left and strafe right, it's not the smoothest strafe. Because if you look here, the gimbal's only up and down. So as the drone is flying left or right, the whole view moves left or right. So it's not the most flexible drone. If you're doing cinematic shots, real estate, we would still recommend you go for the Mini 4.
Yes, yes.
That's still better for that job. No? But if you're, in this case, if you have one specific use case, is if you want dynamic shots like what we were able to achieve. Ito yun eh. Diba?
Bili na tayo, boss.
But when we give this back to DJI, because unfortunately it has to go back, kind of will miss the first person thing.
Sobra, actually. Especially the experience of flying it.
Oh.
It's so nice. It's so nice. You really need to experience flying it para magets nyo.
Oh, like it's like you're actually flying talaga, which I think is something that only FPV drones can do. And normally FPV drones, diba, before naman the Avata, it was, you know,
DIY.
DIY.
And yung goggles nila, I need to mention it, sobrang linaw.
Sobrang linaw.
And sobrang baba na latency.
Yeah.
Talagang parang halos real time yung nakikita mo.
Oh, you feel like you're there. And that's impressive for this. Because when we were shooting in Sacobia, sina Charles were about 2 kilometers away. DJI advertises that this one can do 10 to 13 kilometers. And we haven't been able to test it. I'm sure in the city, well, you really shouldn't be flying FPV. Pero I'm sure in more congested areas, yung range niya will be less. But in our case, mga 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers, zero latency, it's as if you're there. So, what's your verdict on this one, Charles?
Like you said, boss, it's a nice drone. It can give you new perspectives, new angles na parang more dynamic than the typical drone shots. But for general use case, I think the other family of drones, like the minis or the airs.
Actually, Mini, okay na.
Yeah.
The Mini is great. Also, this 4K 60 and everything. You can't do the dynamic shots, but you can do, you know, establish.
You can do more.
You can do more. So that's our review of the DJI Avata 2. No? So we are excited for what DJI can do for their future drones. But this one, the Avata 2, at its price and its flexibility, because the Avata 1 medyo malaki siya eh.
Yeah.
Medyo weird siya tingnan. This one's a lot faster. It's a lot more dynamic. It seems better built. This is the thickest plastic I've seen. And for that, I think it's worth a buy. Or at least worth a try.